When you lose your spouse, you know that the hard days are coming. That part is a given. The empty chair, the birthday, the holidays, you brace for them. What I wasn't ready for, and what genuinely surprised me, was the range of emotions that came with the very first one, our wedding anniversary. My name is Roland. If you're new here, this is a channel about learning to live and to love life again after losing a spouse. I lost my wife Nina after almost 62 years together. I'm no expert on any of this. I'm just a widower walking the road one day at a time, same as you. So let me tell you about that day. For as long as I can remember, anniversaries mattered to Nina. And because they mattered to her, they mattered to me. There was never any chance of forgetting. Weeks ahead of time, she'd ask me, real casually, "What do you want to do for our anniversary?" And over almost 62 years, I learned that when Nina asked me that question, she already had something in mind. Sometimes it was a place to go. Sometimes it was just a dinner or a lunch with the two of us. And as the years went on, it became an adventure, somewhere to see, something to do together. The big ones, the decade anniversaries, the 40th, the 50th, the 60th, those took real planning, real arranging. They weren't just anniversaries, those were events. And then came the first one alone, June the 12th, our 62nd anniversary, the first one without her. I'll tell you how that day went, because all of it surprised me. When I woke up that morning, the very first thing I saw was my phone, and there on the screen was a reminder, your 62nd wedding anniversary. And it just hit me hard. The tears came. I sat there on the side of the bed and I just sobbed. After a while, I told myself, all right, get over it. Get on with the day. So I got up and I made breakfast. And the whole time standing there in the kitchen, I'm wondering, what would we have done today if Nina were here? And I decided we'd have gone out. We would have had lunch out somewhere, the two of us, like always. So that's what I set out to do. I drove over to Olive Garden, one of our favorite restaurants, and they seated me at a table by myself, and the waitress came over and she asked me kindly, just doing her job, "Are you waiting for someone?" And the tears just welled right back up. I tried to explain it to her. I did, but I couldn't get it out. It was just too hard. So I made some kind of an excuse and I got up and I went home. No question asked weeks in advance. No place picked out. No plan made ahead. I hadn't even mentioned the day to our kids, so to them, through no fault of their own, it was just an ordinary day. And that's what surprised me. I expected the grief. I did. What I didn't expect was everything that came with it. The loneliness of having no one to plan the day with. The ache of imagining the lunch we would have had. And then underneath all of it, a strange kind of gratitude, because 62 years of anniversaries are worth remembering. That's a gift most people never get. I felt all of it, sometimes in the very same hour. And that day taught me something about this whole first year. The calendar is full of these days. The anniversary, her birthday, my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and the small ones that nobody warns you about. The first time you cook a meal for one, the first Sunday, the first trip you take without her. Every one of them is a first, and every one has a way of ambushing you, because you brace for the grief, but you don't brace for the range of it. for all the other feelings that come riding alongside it. So I've had to learn how to meet these days, not how to beat them. You don't beat them. How to meet them and come out the other side still standing. So here's what I'm doing differently with the firsts that are still coming. 1. I don't let them sneak up on me. That reminder on my phone blindsided me before I was even out of bed. So now I look at the calendar and I name the hard days out loud ahead of time. That one's coming, it's going to hurt, and that's okay. Bracing for it isn't weakness, it's kindness to yourself. 2. I tell somebody. I sat at that table for one because not a single person knew what that day was for me. I'd never mentioned it, not even to our kids. If I had, maybe one of them would have been sitting right across from me, and so now I say it out loud. This day is coming up, and it's a heavy one for me. You do not have to carry these days alone, and the people who love you want to help carry them. They just need to know. 3. I make a plan, even a small one. Going out to lunch on our anniversary, that instinct was right. Nina spent 62 years teaching me these days are worth marking. Where it fell apart was doing it on the fly, alone, with no footing under me. So now I decide in advance to do something, go somewhere, see someone, and I set it up so I'm not walking into it raw. And 4, maybe the most important, I let myself feel the whole range of emotions and I don't judge any of it. That morning, on the edge of the bed, I told myself to get over it and get on with the day. I've since learned that's exactly the wrong thing to say to yourself. You don't get over it, you go through it. The sadness, the anger, the guilt, the gratitude, the unexpected moments of peace. You let it all come. None of it means I loved her less. All of it means that I loved her. So that's what the first holidays without her have taught me so far. That the hard days aren't just hard, they're complicated. And they bring the whole range. And the way through it isn't to dread them, and it isn't to pretend they're ordinary. It's to see them coming, to say it out loud, to not face them alone, and to keep marking them the way she always did. Nina would want that, I'm sure of it. Somewhere, weeks in advance, I can still hear her asking, "What do you want to do for our anniversary?" And I think the answer she'd want from me is now this: keep living, Roland. Keep going. If you've got a hard first coming up, I'd truly love to hear about it in the comments. What day are you dreading? Or how did you get through one? Because somebody scrolling tonight needs to know they're not the only one. And if this helped, subscribe and walk this road with me. In an upcoming video, I want to talk about something I've never really said out loud. The truth is, in a lot of ways, I started grieving Nina long before she died. We had years with Alzheimer's before that morning in April, and I've come to learn that's a grief all of its own. I'm Roland. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.